YNW Melly had just had his last court hearing until his official trial begins. During this YNW Melly court hearing, important information has been laid out. YNW Melly's jury selection for his trial has now begun, which is the starting stage for the trial to begin. Although jury selection for a trial like this could take upwards to 1 month. So with this information being present to YNW Melly in court, this is when we saw him begin to smile. YNW Melly is still rocking his permanent diamond grill, even after rumors were released that allegedly inmates were trying to get the diamonds from out of his mouth. YNW Melly has been waiting for this day to happen, as stated by his official Instagram page. Melly shared on his IG this photo with a caption saying, "It's about that time. I'll be home this year," with getting love from Trippy Red, YNW Bslime, and even Lil Durk in the comments. So YNW Melly still believes that he's innocent and will be returning home this year, as from his reaction during the court hearing. The last month for YNW Melly in jail has been very hard on the Florida rapper. On April 17th, YNW Melly's Twitter account tweeted, "To all of my loved ones and close friends, I wanted to let everyone know that my phone privileges have been revoked and I'm no longer allowed to call or have video visitation. That is the reason why no one has received any calls from me. But do not worry, I am in great spirits." So just weeks before the YNW Melly trial begins, the Florida rapper ran into an altercation inside of jail. This is when we saw reports being released of YNW Melly being placed in solitary confinement after getting into an altercation inside of jail with another rapper named Rico Reckless from Chicago, Illinois, as they are both awaiting their trials to begin. YNW Melly inside of jail has allegedly always been a problem with newer inmates. Although this isn't the first time that YNW Melly was punished by the Broward County Jail, when YNW Melly released his latest album, he was doing his promotional run on Instagram, taking photos while behind bars and doing interviews while in jail. Things got heated between YNW Melly and the jail when he released this photo of him wearing his Gucci headband and Gucci shoes while in jail. Now, after fans and people saw these online, the Broward County social media accounts were then flooded with many questions such as, how does an inmate have designer clothing? Is the security at this jail really that bad? So the Broward County took offense to this and even punished YNW Melly. YNW Melly wrote on Instagram saying, "To all of my fans, I love y'all, and I truly appreciate y'all. The Broward County Main Jail Lieutenant has confiscated my Gucci shoes and my Gucci sock due to the promotion video that I posted for my album, In Just a Matter of Slime, last Friday. They have even took my video privileges for the next 90 days, so I can't interact with my family and fans through Visit. But the risk was worth it. We went #1. They can take my shoes, socks, and visits, but they can't take that #1 away. I did it for y'all." So just from looking at YNW Melly's reaction while in jail, he has been having quite a hard time. But during the court hearing that I shared earlier, an important piece of evidence was shared. After hearing this, let me know down below in the comments whether or not you think he is innocent or guilty. Now, as reported by Complex, they stated a new piece of evidence saying, and I quote, "There is one Instagram exchange that took place hours after the passings, which was obtained by Complex via a public records request. In it, YNW Melly's Instagram account says, 'I did that,' in one message, followed by 2 minutes later another message saying, 'Shh.' Now, the timing of these Instagram DMs will be used by the state to make the case that those messages amount to an admission of YNW Melly and his guilt. YNW Melly sent those messages to an Instagram account that was a burner account hours after the passings. Then a few hours then go by. That same Instagram account then messages YNW Melly once again, saying, 'There's a Sig 9 on the market.' Now, the state will likely assume that a Sig 9 is slang for some sort of firearm on the streets. YNW Melly replied to his message saying, 'I want it.' So law enforcement will try to match the firearm shells that were found at the scene of the crime to what they believe is a Sig 9. And you need to remember, these messages were exchanged hours after the passings, as the passings of YNW Sakchaser and Juvy were just starting to hit news headlines and go viral on Instagram. Now the evidence is even more concerning when you hear what the witnesses said. So the lead detective on the case said in a deposition that YNW Sakchaser was set to receive around 200 grand from his record label. Now the record label in question is known as 300 Entertainment. Now the police attempted to subpoena 300 Entertainment during their investigation in order to investigate this 200 grand payment. The detective explained that the company refused to honor our subpoena. This is where YNW Sakchaser's mother jumps in. Jana Thompson expanded on the $200,000 payment in a March 2022 deposition. Though she specified she didn't know exactly who the alleged payment was from or who it was for, she said that her son reached out to her a few days before he passed. She says, "Oh, my son hysterically called me," she said. "He was very concerned about my whereabouts. He was concerned about his sister's whereabouts. And he was just very concerned, like something is gonna happen to us. And then he told me that he would not get his money." She continued saying that he said, "I'm probably not going to get my 200,000. I'm probably not going to get my money, Mom." So around the time that YNW Sakchaser sadly passed, his music career was just starting to take flight. Dropping hit songs such as Tropical and Back End, it allegedly got the attention of YNW Melly and his record label, 300 Entertainment. So according to records, they claim that YNW Melly did the act towards Sakchaser to avoid paying him 200 grand to join his record label. So if this turns out to be true, YNW Melly will then be eligible for the penalty, as he used money as a motive to do this act. So with all of this evidence now being released, this is when you start to dig a little deeper. You then realize this is why the prosecutors announced they're no longer interested in putting YNW Melly behind bars for life anymore. Instead, they announced they want the penalty against YNW Melly. In court, they announced that YNW Juvy and YNW Sakchaser's parents want justice for what happened to their sons, which is to be expected, and they no longer want YNW Melly in prison for life anymore. And during that same court hearing, YNW Sakchaser's mother spoke out once again, speaking about her son's situation with YNW Melly in the record label. Now we see YNW Melly's lawyers ask Sakchaser's mother, "I would like you to tell me what information you have gathered to show that this felony was committed for pecuniary gain." Sakchaser's mother's lawyers replied saying, "Please tell me what your definition of pecuniary gain is." They reply, "By statute, it means that he committed this crime to make money, or what have you." With them replying, "Well, there was, as you know through a search warrant through Facebook, as well as through Jana Williams' testimony, there was money being brought to or was going to be awarded to Anthony Williams, aka YNW Sakchaser. Mr. Williams was supposed to get $200,000, and that was in text messages and also I believe in Facebook messaging, as well as the mother's testimony. That money was never obtained by Mr. Williams." Melly's lawyers reply, "Okay, do you know who was going to allegedly pay the $200,000 to Mr. Williams?" With them responding, "Well, I believe it was going to go through the record label. How it's paid out, I don't know." This is why YNW Melly's trial has been taking so long to begin. It's due to just the state coming out with all of this new hard-hitting evidence every single time Melly's defense is ready. If you enjoyed the video, leave a like and don't forget to subscribe. I'm out. Peace.